हेलो गाइस, वेलकम बैक टू माय यूट्यूब चैनल। दिस इज अभिजीत कुमार वर्मा फ्रॉम मेडिकल मेडिकोज। आई होप आप मेरी वीडियो एंजॉय कर रहे हो। अच्छी लगे तो लाइक शेयर सब्सक्राइब जरूर करना और वीडियो के आखिर तक बने रहे मेरे साथ। आज मैं आपको रिप्स के बारे में बताने वाला हूँ, टिपिकल एंड एटिपिकल बोथ। मेरे पास टिपिकल पड़ी हुई है, एटिपिकल की मैं फर्स्ट बताऊंगा। 12th रिप बहुत छोटी सी होती है, मैं आपको अटैचमेंट शॉर्ट बता दूंगा। बाकी समझने का आपको खुद से करना है, मेहनत खुद से करनी है, एक्सप्लेन मैं आपको करूंगा। तो ठीक है, अब हम स्टार्ट करते हैं अपनी टिपिकल थोरेसिक रिप। ठीक है, टिपिकल रिप मेनली। So this is the first rib you can rightly easily see, but before that I am telling you the typical rib. First you have to identify either right or left. See, you can hold it like this. Okay, when you are holding it, you can easily see this end. It has two ends, anterior end and the posterior end. First of all, in the case of this, our posterior end should be directed upwards, so it is not like this. Okay, firstly you have to keep it in the horizontal plane. So now like see, and secondly you can also see the costal groove. Okay, so now you can see this part is upper, okay, as compared to this. So you have to hold it and you have to touch it from the angle of the rib, and we all know angle of the rib is the weakest part of the rib. So now this is a typical rib. Now I have to hold in the anatomical position. In the anatomical position, are the posterior part or the vertebral end is more medially as compared to the anterior. Now I'm holding it. See carefully, and it should be oblique also. Okay. See it like this. Okay. This is the anatomical position. See it carefully. And anatomical position. This is anatomical position. This is now I'm telling the anatomical point. See it carefully. Okay. Now I hope you have seen the anatomical position. You have to hold it like this. Now I'm telling you about its parts. Okay. And every time hold it with the angle of the rib. Angle of the rib. Don't forget this. I'm repeating it again and again. It has anterior end, posterior end. Anterior hand is also known as sternal end. This is also known as vertebral end. Anterior hand has a costal concave cup depression for the for the articulation with the costal facet. Okay, see this. And the posterior part has the head, which has a demifacet, lower and upper. Lower articulate with the corresponding vertebra. See this, lower demifacet, and the upper one articulate with the next upper cupping vertebra. This is the neck. This is the tubercle. See this, this is the tubercle. Now the angle of the rib I have already shown there. Okay, now it has two borders and two surfaces. See this border, upper border and lower border. This is the lower border, this is the upper border. Okay, upper border is thick, you have to touch it. Okay, upper border is thick and blunt, lower border is thin and sharp. And the surfaces, outer surface which is convex, inner surface is concave. And the inner surface is also marked by the presence of costal groove. You know that web, intercostal vein, artery and nerve. See this web, you can easily see costal groove. This was the costal groove. I am showing it again and again. Okay, so there lies the costal groove. Outer surface, inner surface, upper border, lower border, head, neck, tubercle. Okay, this was in the short. Now in the costal, now we tell about the constitution of the costal groove. Costal groove has lodges the intercostal vein, artery, and nerve in the costal groove. Okay. Now the attachment of it. In the BT Chaurasia, what they have told, I will tell about that only. Extra part I will tell in the next video. Okay. See this costal groove. In the costal groove, for the inner border, for the lower floor lodges the intercostal internus. Okay, which is also known as intercostalis internus or intercostalis internus in the short form. Okay, and from the its upper rim, see this is the floor, and this is its upper rim. In the upper rim, here comes the intimus, short form intercostal intimus or the innermost intercostal muscle. I am telling you the both names, don't forget it. Okay. Now after that, it was here comes the origin. Now we talk about it. Insertion in the upper border has inner lip. This was upper border. It has here inner lip, huh? Inner lip, and here comes the outer lip. See, you have to touch it, you have to feel it. Okay, and here comes the outer lip. In the inner lip, there comes the insertion of intercostalis internus and intimus, both, which is also known as innermost intercostal for the intimus. But for the outer rim, here comes the in the inner lip also insertion of the external intercostal muscle. Don't forget that. But in the case of the outer lip, here comes the origin of external intercostal muscle. External intercostal muscle in the case of outer lip. Now there is only the theoretical part which I am telling in short. Nothing else. Neck, you know, neck has the facet for the neck. Neck was there, and the tubercle has the costotarsal ligament for the articulation with the costotarsal process of the typical thoracic vertebra. I can tell you in the short. See it carefully. If these are the two vertebrae, this is not exactly the typical vertebra. I am trying to tell you. See this, and this is the tubercle. Tubercle articulate like this. Okay. Now I have to show it from here. Let me give a second. This and this. Okay. Now see it from here. See it. See, my tubercle is coming on transfer process, and the lower facet. See, lower facet. This the lower demi facet articulated with the lower one. You can see it, and the upper one is articulated within the next upcoming vertebra. See, okay, transverse process. All that I have shown you in the previous video. So see that first before seeing that. Okay, I have shown the articulation process. Now the muscle, you can easily say for the external surface or the outer surface, you can easily tell about the thoracolumbar fascia, iliocostal muscle, levator costae covered by erectus spinae, and the origin of the serratus posterior, and the latissimus dorsi. Easily you can say these are all about the theoretical part. This you don't have to go in deep. This was about the typical rib. Nothing else you have to tell, only this much, and the examiner will be impressed. Believe me. Okay. Now this is the first rib. Before holding it, you should know which one it is, right or left sided. Okay. So now when I am holding it in the, see this, these both ends should lie on the same plane. It is not lying on the same plane, but in the case of this, it is lying on the same plane. Okay. See this. You have to just keep it on table and see that. Okay. Now there also a second thing, you can by touching. Upper part will be also always will be the rough upper one. Okay. So you can feel it, because sometimes examiner will say you don't have to keep it on the table. Then how you will identify? Okay, that's why. Now you have to hold an anatomical position from the angle of the rib. In the case of first rib, neck and tubercle, they both coincide on the same place. First thing. Secondly, I am holding in the anatomical position. See it carefully, and it should be obliquely placed by your position when you will show. And now I am telling you it. Okay. This is my clavicle. So below just this only. Okay. This is the anterior end of the sternal end. This is the posterior end of the vertebral end. This lies more. This is laterally as compared to the this vertebral end. Okay. This is the anatomical position you have to show. Now I'm telling you that feature attachment. Know that. Acha, before you are, now I'm telling you anatomical position. How you have to tell? You have to tell this is the left sided first rib. It has shaft which is directed downwards and forwards. Shaft obliquely downwards and forwards. It's at two ends, anterior and sternal end. It has the posterior vertebral end. Okay, and posterior end has the head, neck, and tubercle. Tubercle coincide with the angle of the rib. Now this I have to tell. External, its upper surface and lower surface. Upper surface is rough, lower surface is smooth. Or in the case of outer border is convex and the inner border is concave. Okay, and here comes, see it carefully, here it comes the scalene tubercle. See it, scalene tubercle is here. Scalene tubercle which forms a ridge between the anterior groove and posterior groove. Now the question comes, what comes the anterior groove? In the anterior groove case, here comes the subclavian vein, and the posterior groove, here comes the subclavian artery, and behind the subclavian artery comes the lower root of truncobrachial plexus. Okay, this was about this. And the attachment of the neck, relation of the neck. Anteriorly, neck has attachment of sympathetic chain and the SPSV. You have to learn that like that, chain pulling the vein, the short form. It is easy to learn. Sympathetic chain and the posterior intercostal vein, superior intercostal artery, and the anterior ramus of first thoracic intercostal nerve. Okay, this was the anterior relation of the neck. Now the superior relation of the neck. How you have to tell the examiner? It is deep cervical vessel and its thoracic nerve. Okay, Now the upper border attachments, upper surface, I am repeating again, upper surface. In the upper surface you have to tell, here comes the subclavius muscle, costoclavicular ligament, then the scalenus anterior. In the scalenus anterior insertion come in the scalene tubercle. See scalene tubercle, here it comes the insertion of the scalenus anterior, and here comes the scalenus medius insertion. Okay, lower border does not have any costal groove. Here only the intercostal nerves goes, nothing you have to tell about for that. Okay, for the lower surface. Now the external border or the outer border. In the outer border has the attachment for the first digitation of the serratus anterior. I am repeating again, first digitation of the serratus anterior and the external intercostal muscle and intercostalis internus. Okay, this was about this. I have told you about the external border. Now about the internal border. Internal border, here comes the suprapleural membrane. Other name is Sipson fascia. Okay. Now the question is, what does Sipson fascia does? Sipson fascia, from the cervical 7 transfer process, it comes down to the inner border to the middle of the first rib. Don't forget this, inner border middle to the first rib. Now its functions are, it provides protection to the apex of the lung, and also it prevents the puffing up of the lung during the intrathoracic respiration. Don't forget this, it prevents the puffing. You mean the puffing, वो सांस लेते वक्त बाहर की तरफ आ ना जाए, इसलिए सिप्सन फेशिया मदद करता है ताकि वो बाहर ना आ जाए, वरना अभी तक ना आपका लंग्स जो है वो बाहर आ चुका है, क्योंकि आपको इतने बार एपेक्स बाहर की तरफ होता है. ओके, क्योंकि मैंने पिछली वीडियो में बताया भी है कि वो क्यों ऐसे ओब्लिकली होता है. इसका रीजन मैं बता चुका हूँ. 45 डिग्री का एंगल बनता है थोरेसिक प्लेट वाला, प्रीवियस वीडियो देखें उसके लिए. तो attachment of the first rib is almost complete. I have told you about it, tubercle, surfaces and borders complete. Now this was about the first rib attachments. Okay, now I am telling one thing was left in the previous video, that was about the typical atypical thoracic 12 vertebra. Okay, so I am showing it to you again. Okay, see this, you have to hold it from this transfer process. You know that transfer process you have to hold. Now in the transfer process, there is no presence of costal facet. See this, there is no presence of facet, and see how it is short. See this. Okay, and one more landmarking between the 11th and 12th, how you differentiate. The pedicle is present between the upper and lower demifacet, encroaching towards the process. Okay, see this, this is the facet which is in the pedicle, encroaching the pedicle. See, it is coming in between. So, and in the 11th case na, it will be somewhere here, little bit downwards and little upwards here. So it is coming in between pedicel. Okay, and nothing more. Theoretical part you can learn that the inferior facet is corresponding to the lumbar vertebra, next upper vertebra, and you know lumbar one body, its body is kidney shaped. Okay, that is the theoretical part. I am telling not only about it physically vertebra, and nothing more about, and it's only this much you can tell about the examiner. And this is the main difference, the arterial facet on the transfer process and this pedicel one. Main difference between the 11th and 12th for this, and the transfer process for the 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th. Don't forget this. Okay, because the examiner will ask you in the questions. Okay, so this was all about the ribs and vertebra which I have told you. I have completed all my practical part. Previously I have told you the theoretical part. For the theoretical part you have to see my previous video. I have shown in that, or you can see in the next in the box which I have given below. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this video. आप आखिर तक बने रहना बहुत ज़रूरी है इस वीडियो में आपको. ठीक है, मैं बीच में आपके साथ कुछ शॉर्टकट्स भी लाऊंगा बताने के लिए, उस पर आप ध्यान देते रहें. सो ओवरऑल दिस वीडियो इज कंप्लीट. तब तक के लिए अब हम मिलेंगे नेक्स्ट वीडियो में. थैंक यू, स्टे हेल्दी एंड स्टे सेफ.